Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Part 2 gang, y'all, let's get together. Part 2 gang, y'all, let's get like, share, subscribe to y'all, let's get it. Let's go. I said, boy, I got $200, bro. He was like, his eyes got big as nickels. He was like, you got 2 cents? I was like, yeah, I got 2 cents. He said, oh, I'm gonna bless you. Yeah, what you trying to get? I said, bro, look, bro, I'm trying to make some money, bro. You know what I mean? He was like, yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, you got 200 now, though? I was like, bro, I got $200 right here. He was like, man, give it to me, bro. My man in there with the phone right now. I said, I was gonna let you use my phone, take care of it. You know what I mean? He was like, oh, man, it don't matter. He was like, look, what you want for the job? I said, bro, look, just play fair with me, bro. That's all I'm asking, bro. Just play fair with me, bro. I never asked him how much he had. I never got into his business to see what was the exact amount or what came back from the VI. I felt like that was irrelevant to me, y'all. Why did I need to know these things, man? The only thing that I wanted to know is if he was going to sell me something for this 2 cents. You know what I mean? Because that's some fire. I'm about to run White Boy Rob up. Y'all know the count. So I'm like, man, I'm trying to make it shit. He like, bro, listen, bro. All right, look, let me lock down. When we lock down, bro, I'm gonna go see what it is, bro, and I'm gonna definitely look out. But let me get the 200, or I got you. So here you go. I threw bro the 200. CO came, finished locking us down. I dipped back to the cell feeling happy, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie. I was watching 106 and Park and wiggling my toes. I felt good, man. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, man, I was just thinking about everything. I was like, bro, gotta at least throw me something like, you know what I mean, that he'll sell somebody that was for $400-500. That's what I'm thinking, like, you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to get, because I came to him with a big card. Now, this ain't just straight business, like somebody just coming to be like, he already know what I'm trying to do. I don't do the hardest chicken, y'all. And I'm not saying I want the man whole pack, and I don't even know what he have. But still, just play fair. Like, if somebody would have came to me like that, I'm gonna play fair. I already know, like, I know the rules of the game. I already know how I have to come. Almost basically a double up, basically. Like, you know what I mean? I'm trying to make some money, bro. Like, you just need some money now. Or you can wait to see if any of these other maniacs spend $50 here, $100. Like, you don't even know all the plucks. So he was gonna go through me anyway. You know what I mean? So I'm like, man, I'm gonna see what we're gonna do. Next thing you know, count was clear. They pop all the doors. Everybody come out that joint. I step out that joint. I was like, look down at bro. Bro looked at me. He was like, he started walking back towards the cell. You know what I mean? Bro come down my joint. He was like, get in the joint. He came in. I told my son, let me get in right quick. My son, he dipped out. I was like, what's good? He was like, hey, look, this like 500 right here worth, Weezy. You good with this? I looked at that rock, y'all. I was like, man, that's like Russia on the map, y'all. So boom. What the? That's crazy, man. That's in this joint. Decent. I said, yeah, bro, we good, bro. We good. He said, yeah, 200 was good too. He said, look, man, I'm about to try to get some la-la, man, for real though, man. Like, he was like, man, I ain't, you know, I'm good. He's like, I sent, you know what I mean? That's for my people. They needed that quick. So I appreciate you though. I was like, bro, you good, bro. I was like, you know what I mean? He was like, what you about to do with all that? I'm like, bro, listen, it's none of your business. I ain't say that though. But I'm like, nah, I got a couple things. He's like, you about to mess with that white boy? I'm like, yeah. You know what I mean? I said, I always do business with him and his little crew. I said, I got it under control. So when he dipped off immediately, as soon as he left, I threw the cut up. You see what this junk look? I dumped that junk in there. I was like, man, that junk looked like a Ferrari symbol. That junk, that rock was looking crazy. That junk was shaped. That junk looked like that junk was crazy. That junk was shaped like Cisco's dragon. That's what, I was like, this is a decent rock, man. I was like, what the heck? So I'm like, start messing with it, man. I was like, man, let me go get the razor. I go get the razor that we be cutting the sheet with. You know what I mean? We ain't got that junk. No, that's too big. One more time. Let me get this one. Two-step one time. Reverse. Y'all already know what I did. I broke it down crazy, y'all. So boom. That's a lot, man. I gotta get mine, man. So I was sitting there cutting up. You know what I mean? I didn't even cut the whole joint up. I was at 550. Worth of 50s, my word, and still had a decent rock. Still had a decent rock over there. I was like, 550 is decent. I was like, yeah, I'm about to go holler at Rob and them. Went to holler at Rob and then went outside in the pod. I seen Rob and they all standing down there, waiting patiently. And I know he pinned everything because I know he nosy. And this is how stuff gets crazy. But he was super duper nosy waiting on me, man. It's like he knew it was coming as soon as he told me it was good. So I guess he's coming down a little bit from the buzz that he had before count. So when white boy Rob see me, I come down the steps. He ain't even want to play it off or nothing. He pull up on me immediately. Hey, Weezy, you straight? Now his mouth working. I'm like, oh, now you can talk now, huh? He was like, yeah, man, that junk is a space shuttle, man. That junk is a space shuttle, man. I'm like, I done heard people say that's a missile or that junk a rocket. Like, this man said that junk was a space shuttle. I was like, a space shuttle? He was like, yeah, that junk was a space shuttle, Weezy. That junk was a space shuttle, man. I'm like, bro, listen, this is what I'm saying, though. I'm like, what you trying to do, though? I was like, yeah, I got something, though. What's good, though? He was like, no, you did. I know you did. He was like, hey. He yelled over his homeboys like, hey. He threw the thumbs up like this. So like the black dude and the white dude that was right there was like, I'm like, man, what y'all got playing? What y'all got going on, man? You talking like I ain't right here. What's up? He was like, look, I want to spend 100, but I'm vouching for them. I'm going to go get 250s for them. So basically I'm spending 200, but I'm like, nah, hold on. Nah, what you mean? Like you vouching for them? Nah, listen, what you trying to spend $200? That's what you saying? He was like, I said, what you, all right, well, look, I got 100 for you then. Cause I don't really, they ain't coming to talk to me personally. He was like, all right, I'm spending 200. I said, all right, man, for real though, Rob, man, real talk. He said, you know I'm good. I said, I already know it. He said, you know, sometimes it be crazy, but you know I'm good. I said, bro, I already know you good. I wouldn't even be giving you this if I didn't know you was good. You know what I mean? I was like, look, just make sure I get my bread. That's all I'm asking. You already know the count, man. You know what I mean? He was like, no, I'm gonna make sure I pay you, Weezy. You already know. Come on, bro. You know, I got you. I was like, all right, look, let's go on your sale. So he was like, I was going here. So he called me into the little joint they be in. So I shoot in that joint real quick. He was like, what's up? I was like, here, man. He saw that bag. Like for real, I did a lot of things that I shouldn't have done. You know what I mean? But he saw the bag. I was like, I try to cover it most as I can, but he see all them rocks in there. I'm like, here, bro. I gave him 450s. He was like, thanks, man. I was like, no problem, man. Like, when I'm gonna get that money though? He was like, give me about a week. I said, all right, I ain't tripping. I said, you already know you a lot. You know what I mean? I said, but in the meantime though, you know, you already know what it is though. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, we'll limit that though. He was like, I got it, man. I'll take care of it. I said, bro, listen, I'm just letting you know. I just want my bread, white boy, bro. I ain't got nothing else to do with nothing. Just make sure you pay me, bro. I already know how it is. I already know you gonna come chase. It's gonna be back and forth. I said, we can put that to the side right now if you just let me know what's good. I said, what you talking about? He said, let me do this first and go on the space shuttle and get my mind right. Then I'll come back and holler at you after that, all right? I was like, all right, man, go handle your business, man. He was like, all right. Pound me up for the second time. He rolled out the cell, y'all. So boom, I go out right behind him. Pause. He go out that jump. I go my way. He go his way. So now him and his crew, they getting lit. Now what I have and what Mike have, like this isn't a narcotic that you know everybody's chasing and all that. Like, this is a quiet hustle. Like you just standing and cut until these dudes gonna chase, and then you get the bread. You gotta pray and hope you get the bread because it ain't always money up front. Like I be telling y'all, I will wish it was money up front, but sometimes you gotta sit there and hustle, and that's the way you hustle in penitentiary a lot of times, man. Like dudes pay the money, and sometimes it be BS. But these are the things you go through. I tell y'all this in every story, but I have to take these risks. People in the comments be like, well, why you know you shouldn't have get it? Ain't, listen, when you in there hustling, man, you dealing with the same fiends that been the same fiends, man. You gotta hustle to these fiends. Somebody gotta get the stuff right, so you gotta sell it. You either gonna sit down and I'm gonna hold it until somebody come with $100 up front. No, you gotta let a dude run a tab up, man. It's a 75% chance you're gonna get your bread. I know that 25% is scary, but at the end of the day, you gotta take that risk if you want to get some money, y'all. So boom, it's a fact, man. So that's what I'm doing, man. So that's why I try to go ahead and get it all out the way when I was hollering at white boy Rob. But I get what he was saying. Them people went and did their thing. Man, I'm chilling. I see them, they super lit. They ain't say nothing to me like, you know what I mean? They ain't say nothing because this like the last wreck. So they did that joint. He was lit. He was super lit, man. So I thought he was gonna come back and holler at me before we locked down. You know what I mean? But he didn't. So I was like, oh, that's what's up there. You know what I mean? He owe me 2 cents. I ain't tripping on that. I'm chilling. Now it's time for lockdown. So we locked down for the rest of the night. So I'm in the cell chilling, man. The workers out there, you know what I mean? It's probably like 1 cent, but I'm still up. I'm chilling. Y'all know I'm dirty, but I'm still up. I forgot what I was watching, but I'm still up anyway. But the workers already had went in, but they let when they counted after that, they let the workers come back out to get the showers. Just a couple of them, you know what I mean? They didn't get their showers. So I'm in the cell chilling, and I just hear a little It wasn't even a knock, because I guess he didn't want to wake nobody up or have everybody in his business, but the joint sounded like this, y'all. I was like his fingernails hit the joint. That joint sounded jive fruity for real. That joint was like, I was like, you knocking on my door like that, man? That joint was like, man, yo! He was like, this white boy Rob, he was like, I was like, what you doing out, man? He was like, okay. He was talking to the lady in the booth. He was like, okay. He was like, hey, we still on? I said, still on for what? He was like, for the other 3. I said, you want 650s? He was like, yeah. I was like, man, that'll be 500 then. He said, throw me an extra 50 on the side. I said, so you want 750s? He was like, yeah. I said, man, you can't negotiate with a fiend for nothing, y'all, so boom. But I'm gonna look out though, man. Like I was a fair hustler. That's why out that 75% that I was telling y'all how you get your money, like I will get my money because I wasn't nobody that was petty like that. Like he want an extra 50 and he's spending $500 with me. He can have an extra 50, man. You know what? He can have an extra 50. I don't care. I don't care about that, man. I bagged up 550 and he got that last 50. You know what I mean? He can have that. What do I care, man? You got to be fair with this stuff, y'all. This is the stuff you have to do, man. Or you going to end up being late in that jank, man. You know what I mean? Like, you got to take this risk, though, basically, man. So, I looked out for bro, man. He came up there on a late night. And I slid bro that joint out the door, man. He was like, he hit the door. He was like, thanks, Weezy, man. I said, yo, let that last you too, man. I said, you good? He was like, yeah, we good. He said, yo, man, I appreciate you, man. Like, real talk, man. Oh, that's what's up, man. He dipped off. You know what I mean? So, I'm chilling. Felt good. Went to sleep feeling great. Like, yo, I got rid of the fat. I still got a decent little chunk over here. You know what I mean? I'm just waiting to get rid of that. But I ain't in no rush because I don't mess with the Hardee's chicken, y'all. So, boom. So, I'm chilling, man. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. I'm kicked back right now, man. I'm on some, you know, I'm cooling. You know what I mean? I made a play over in the underpart. Dude that cut hair that be holding the jack I be telling y'all about. He came and told me it was a dude over there that got $60 worth of commissary for a piece of that Hardee's chicken. I said, yeah, tell him he a lot. I said, he got some food? He was like, yeah, he got a lot of exclusive food in there too. Macaronis, sausages, tuna fishes. He had all that in there. He told me that. I was like, what you getting out the deal? He was like, man, he gonna buy me some Lala. I was like, that's what's up, man. I was like, yeah, I'm trying to make that play. I sent him a decent Jane over there. Here you go. I made it off the fresh Jane. Gave him a nice piece. Made that play. I got commissary. I done traded a little Lala. I got a little Lala. I done traded a little bit of food for the Lala. I'm good right now. I'm in kickback mode waiting on this 500. You know what I mean? I ain't even worried about it, man. So, through all of this, I haven't hollered at Mike in a minute. You know, Mike just been chilling. Like, I've been hearing that. I've been seeing that he been trading his joint or making plays. I don't know what he been doing, but he just been ducked off, lit off the Lala. He been hanging with his little crew from his city. So, like, it won't like I was on him. Me and him done the business. He went his way, I went my way. But I haven't seen him in a day or something. You know what I mean? I haven't really seen him all day like that. But he been ducked off. But I don't know if he's selling his junk or he still need help because he was going to holler at me anyway. So I pull up on him. I finally pull up on him. I'm like, yo, what's up, bro? I said, what's up? You getting rid of that stuff, bro? He was like, yeah, I mean, I sent that junk to my man across the yard, though, man. Like, after you gave me the junk for the 200, like for real, like, you know, I'm taking my time for real, though, man. Taking my time. I was like, yeah, bro. I was happy to hear that. Like, yeah, basically, like, stay out my way, bro. Like, I won't say that, but still, though, I want all the plays, y'all. So, boom. I know that sounds selfish, man, but it was true. Like, I wanted all the Hardee's chicken plays. Like, man, let me get out the way, then you can have the compound, man. Like, you know, you probably got more Hardee's chicken, but you know, I'm gonna accept it how it happens, man. You know what I mean? So, bro told me he got rid of his joint, sent it to his peoples on the other side. I was cool hearing that, man. So, the next day roll around, my homeboy that I be talking to in 31, he see me. He was like, hey, bro, hey, look, me holler at you, bro. He said, make sure you come to Child, but I gotta holler at you. I'm like, what's up? Everything good? He was like, no, I ain't nothing like that, but still, though, I need to holler at you. Like, all right. So we go to Child. I couldn't wait. You know what I mean? I see bro, he waited for me and shit. So I'm walking to Child with him. He see me. He like, hey, look, that white boy Ron that's in your pod. I'm like, yeah. He was like, man. He said, it's a dude Selly fuck with now. My homeboy Selly was from the 804 game. You know what I mean? So he was like, it's a dude my Selly mess with. He told me that the white boy owe him like $500-$600. I was like, $500-$600 for what? He was like, don't you got some Hardee's chicken? I was like, hey, I got a little bit. He was like, you sold him something? I was like, yeah, he owe me $500. He was like, I think he owed bro too. But like, for real, I won't like upset to hear about that. It was just that I thought I was the only one selling the Hardee's chicken at this particular moment, man. So I'm like, for real? He like, yeah, he got Hardee's chicken too. He was like, you know, he messed with the dude Mike. You know what I mean? He messed with the dude Mike. So I'm like, for real? He was like, yeah, he rock with dude, man. He was like, man, he rock with him, man. You know what I mean? So I guess that's where he got it from. So I'm like, I wonder why Mike spun me and told me he sent it to the other side of the yard, which is his business. I ain't trying to tell him what to do with his stuff. But like, if we was on the same page, then I wouldn't be blindsided by his information. So I was like, all right, you know what I mean? Holler at my homeboy, holler at white boy Rob, we can see what's going on with this. So I couldn't wait to get back. And I seen white boy Rob. I was like, yo, bro, come here. He was like, I was like, come here for a minute, bro. He was like, I'm standing on the top table by myself. He was like, he came up the steps super slow. He was like, like he was on a treadmill, y'all. He was like, he finally get up there. He was like, I said, what, you can't talk now, man? I said, look, though. I said, look, don't lie, though, man. I said, don't lie, man, because I already know how it is. I said, I'm just trying to make sure I'm secure and I ain't got time for this. He was like, what? I said, look, you owe the dude over there in 31 some money, man, too, for the Hardee's chicken?
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.